Start a journey into the minds of sociopaths and psychopaths, where the lines between unknown and alarming truth are blurred. These two interesting profiles, often mixed up in crime books, give a gripping look into the world of strange behavior. What sets psychopaths and sociopaths apart? Exploring the real differences. Have you ever thought about what makes psychopaths and sociopaths different? Even though these words are often used equally, it's important to know that they are not the same. Not everyone who is violent fits into one of these groups. It takes more than labels to understand the differences. Psychopathy and sociopathy are bad, but their causes, how they are diagnosed, and how they are treated are different. The most important difference is that psychopaths have different emotional and social traits like shallowness, lack of empathy, and emotional distance. Sociopathy and psychopathy are two different types of what is now called antisocial personality disorder, ASPD. So you might ask, what exactly are personality disorders? There are complexities in the core of who we are that make it hard to say what we are. Understanding psychopathy. Psychopathy, while not officially listed in the DSM-5, continues to be a relevant term in psychology, identifying individuals marked by traits like unemotional, callousness, impulsiveness, and antisocial behavior. Often emerging in early childhood, these characteristics cast a shadow over various life aspects, affecting relationships with family, friends, and even professional circles. Research indicates that approximately 1.2% of adults exhibit psychopathic traits, with tendencies that hinder empathy and disregard the emotions and well-being of others. This in turn poses challenges in forming and maintaining relationships both on personal and professional fronts as they struggle to build connections and establish trust in the world around them. The evolution and decline of sociopathy. In psychology, the term sociopathy emerged during the behaviorism era between 1920 and 1950, driven by the belief that individuals were like blank slates molded by their surroundings. However, this concept has faded from modern scientific use. A neuroscience researcher sheds light on how the notion of sociopathy has evolved. The idea that people's nature was solely a product of nurture needed to be more accurate, leading to a more accurate and reliable approach to diagnosis. Consequently, sociopathy was dropped from the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-5, nearly 2 decades ago. Exploring psychopath and sociopath traits. When you know what psychopaths and sociopaths are like, you can see more interesting differences between them. The clinical description puts them in the same group, but how people see them differs. Sociopaths tend to act impulsively and randomly, making it hard to keep a steady job or family life. Psychopaths, on the other hand, might be better at separating themselves from their acts and feel less guilty about them. Antisocial personality disorder is diagnosed when a person consistently doesn't care about the rights of others. Traits like lying, acting on impulse, and not feeling bad about what they did are also important. Clinical tests, like the Hare Psychopathy Checklist, revised, look into these traits more deeply, which helps predict behavior and find possible treatment options. The path of getting to know these complicated people adds another layer of understanding to the complex tapestry of human psychology. Origins of psychopathy and sociopathy. When you look into psychopathy and sociopathy, you see a fascinating mix of biological, genetic, and social factors at work. Sociopathy, a term that has since been replaced, was once thought to be caused by the environment. Now, psychopathy is thought to have strong biological and genetic roots, though the study is still going on to learn more about it. From this research, we can tell the difference between primary psychopathy, which is mostly caused by genetics, and secondary psychopathy, which is more affected by social factors like upbringing and childhood stress. These layers make up the complex fabric of antisocial personality traits, which lead to behaviors like acting on impulse, not caring about others' feelings, and not caring about their rights. As more parts of the puzzle are put together, clinical tests like the Hare Psychopathy Checklist, revised, can give deeper insights that can help with predictions and possible treatments. This trip through these complicated characters' origins gives us a new way to think about human behavior and psychology. Closer look at the risks. Psychopathy comes with many risks, but the fact that it can lead to future violence stands out as a stark warning. Psychopathy is one of the best ways to predict future violence. Studies show that 30% to 50% of violent crimes are committed by psychopaths, even though they only make up 1% of the community. This disturbing tendency toward antisocial and violent behavior causes problems at school, work, and social situations. People with this disorder have trouble making real connections because they have trouble trusting others, are manipulative, and have antisocial traits. Still, the effects of psychopathy vary depending on the person, their environment, and how the group works. Knowing when to consult a doctor. Psychopathy isn't a disease that can't be fixed, despite what most people think. People with a lot of violent traits are less likely to have bad effects from it now. It's important to get professional help as soon as possible. Therapies focusing on the person or family, residential treatments, or even medication can help, often in combination. It's important to deal with psychopathic traits when they're young, and parents can play a big role by noticing things like a lack of guilt, less empathy, and lying. How important early intervention is, and how stopping bad habits and encouraging good ones through education can greatly affect how the situation worsens. As we peer into the enigmatic depths of psychopathy and sociopathy, we're reminded that within the complexities of human psychology, the boundary between understanding and mystery remains as intriguing as ever. So that's all for today's video. If you like this video, click the like and the bell buttons. We'll have another video for you soon. Take care until then.